It's simple. You see me the way I function. I function like a movie director in my head. That's like I'm full of. It's simple. Look, you know, yeah. See the woman that has money and that have all the things, yeah. When the moves come in, they get some of the stuff, man. They're gonna leave some. And you're gonna wake up in the morning, early when people are sleeping. There's people wake you and say, go in that house, or you're gonna have a dream where, bro, it's gonna be, so you walk in it and you go and take your stuff, you come in the yard. It's simple. It's not difficult, my brother. The Most High has a way to bless us. Reverend ain't gonna come and give us nothing because this been 2021. But there's a way. There's no reverend in our time, man. I mean, they are, but they're gonna move like that. It will just, but he just say that. The Most High, yes, right. So the Most High gonna find a way to bless you that day. It could be a sister, it could be a woman that always likes you up. You have to leave her because you're in the truth now. She go with man, for example, but she always loves you. Every time she thinks about you and things like that. So one day now, the Most High will have you walk and you walk up in there, whatever. And she say, yo, you need some food. And she will find a way to bless you because she's stuck up and whatever. Okay? She'll be the one. See, when the time comes where we don't have Vanessa, yeah? That's when the people that are vaccinated, the people that have Vanessa, that means Vanessa, you know how you came out? You know what I mean? They will do the shopping for us, bro. The Most High will put the spirit on your baby mom, on whoever, and they will come for you because they know they will bless you. Do not worry. Do not worry. Have the faith. The Most High is too good. I want to say gangster. I don't want to write to pull me and say, say that, say gangster. You know what I mean? So I want to say the Most High is too real, man. He go, so yes. Yes. Talking about just somewhere.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 17. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day.
Right.
And I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured.
Wow.
And many evils and troubles shall befall them.
But this is the reason why we're going through the stuff that we go through now. You know, the evils, the troubles, the hands up, don't shoot, the Black Lives Matter, taking the knee with the one arm up and all of this madness. Yeah, because the Most High has hidden his face.
Please read that. Hey, it's like that. Read that.
Okay.
What's that took you somewhere? Yeah, but then you can read 5 and then read those about the face. That's all about hiding the face. But we have to tell our brothers, this is time for you to come there. Don't wait until the last minute. You'll be deadly.
Hosea chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
Explain that.
Till they acknowledge their offense.
Unless you guys name the permanent thing for 1/3 of us anyway. Till, yeah.
Till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face.
That's right.
In their affliction, they will seek me early.
So a lot of brothers that have doubt, they understand the truth, but they have doubt. You will seek, because the Most High put His Spirit on you. You will seek, man. But just don't seek it at the wrong time.
Too late, yeah, don't leave it too late.
And we're going to explain that. Proverbs 1 and 22 and go all the way to 28.
Proverbs chapter 1 verses 22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
Right, don't be simple, man. Don't ask questions. Look, with the Most High, you don't ask, when you're in a game, you don't ask questions to the leader. When I say go somewhere and do something, you don't ask them why me. Why? You know what I mean?
Can't get someone else to do it.
How you get Rabban to do it? Why
Exactly
do I
why.
have to do it?
But you can't say because the minute Rabban will go and kill the guy and he'll come and kill you. It's gonna happen. Yeah.
You can't question
You know what I mean?
it, no.
So it's not being more simple, man. How much more is, you see, the Most High is there. I don't know if people understand how very close this God is, man. Yeah, exactly.
And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Right. We see a lot of scorners come up here. They'll think, yeah, they think they're doing a good thing. like, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to put you to shame, innit? Yeah, to be in this thing here, you have to be able to endure shame, man.
That's right.
You have to be able to endure shame. Yeah, I wish I had to endure shame. What makes us any different? Yeah.
On a physical level as well.
Yeah.
Bigger things, they grab them up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wounds, and they said they done worse than that as well.
Yeah.
Recorded.
Yeah, a lot of people always say that. A lot of fools every 7 days. They don't, the Bible is very, they didn't, so there's a lot of things that I know. That's the reason why Jake now, when I'm going, I don't, because if like fables and that, people don't know what that happened. I'm like, he's waiting on you for that. Mess up your mind. Yeah, carry on.
Fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto
So the
you.
Most High is putting out His Spirit right now, man.
That's right.
That's why you have an interest. Because He put His Spirit on you, something you know. It's like if they're given, you know, some meat, they're given all of the ingredients. Something you just do the cooking so you can eat. But if you don't cook, it's gonna be rotten and you'll throw it away. You know, it's gonna become more cooked. Yeah, you have to work on it, man.
I will make known my words unto you.
We make sure you come, you want to inquire, watching the videos, you want to know or ask questions, you know what I mean? That's Him opening your spirit.
And that's Him showing you a bit of His face.
And a bit of His mercy. That's mercy. Yeah. Remember that woman that was down, that they had so much faith that the outside had to heal her.
Yes.
Yes,
That was leading to the king.
Why? She has so much faith that Yahweh has no choice but to heal her. Sometimes the most I look at your heart, like, you know, I will see, okay, open a bit of the understanding, I will see what you do. But it's only for a period of time. If you don't make haste, you will close that door, man.
That's right.
Carry on.
Because I have called and ye refuse.
Right, you ask the question, too much question, bro. Have you noticed that sometimes you talk to a girl, you don't have too much game, you ask her, what's your name? Where are you from? Where do you live? Where do you work? And she's like, bro, you asking too much questions. It's the same thing. You want to question Yahweh. You know what I mean?
How much more?
You know what I mean?
The guy is doing the flip. Train is making his words known unto you. He's turning that face a bit, but now you rejected it. This is what's happening, man. It's turning it back again.
Because I have called and ye refuse.
So he can't say, no chick can say that time that the most I didn't go. But you see us, there's a lot of us, you see us preaching every Saturday, sometime on Monday, sometime on Thursdays, on Friday. It's all over YouTube. It's all over YouTube.
I'd say every day of the week there's someone out there or there's something going on.
Yes.
There's camps in Barbados now,
Yes.
there's camps in Nigeria.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
When the sun goes down here, it goes up there.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
24 hours.
God.
It's 24 hours.
There's camp in Australia.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So you can't tell me you don't know about this thing. Carry on, my brother.
I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
So he stretched out the Most High stretched out his hand by placing the men of the Lord that you neglecting so you can hear this truth, so you can make your mind up. But yet, you couldn't get it. Because you didn't make haste. This is something like when you go to sport, you have to put certain energy. You have to put energy into this truth. You have to take your time, read it, ask questions, try to how do you say that? To implement it in your life.
That's like a man be drowning, man. And you stretch your hand to save him, man. You push your hand up.
Exactly.
That's what our people are doing.
It's just before you know. It's just like I put out my hand to shake your hand, and you don't take hold of it.
Yeah,
So I think, okay, you know what? You're gonna want this hand. It's like that.
Right,
you know?
you're gonna want it at some point. You're gonna want that friendship at some point. And that's a beautiful. That's why among us we need to be good with each other and amongst camps. Yeah.
That's all good, but you should come and listen, man. That's all good saying all that. We need to come in here, man.
Yeah, you need to come and hear the truth, my
Come
brother.
in here, man. It's all good saying all that. Come and hear the truth.
Every Saturday,
Word.
man. Every Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Take heed though, my
Thank you, my
brother.
brother, because
All that walk on that.
Oh, yeah. All right, good. Keep watching, man.
hey, because very soon the bricks there will be no soup very soon, man. We don't have the ingredient to do your soup, your daily soup, man. Famine. You know what I mean?
It's Psalms 190.
Man is making his peace, man. See, that's the spirit, man. See, that's the spirit. We talk about a brother that hesitated. And he said himself that he dealt with you. But he
knows.
You see, but but he's playing with it. He's not taking it serious.
No, Psalms 119 and 16. I made haste.
Where are you from, my brother? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? You may be, is it Ethiopia? A lot of Ethiopia, you know the Lalibela, church. It's the Hebrew Israelite who created that. Because when we went from Israel, this is the first place, this is one of the first where that's why the Ethiopian got their own, Ethiopian Bible. Why? Because our people went there, our people lived there, our people had women. Even Moses, he had an Ethiopian, so
Israelite.
Can I ask you something, brother? Are you Habashi or are you Falasha?
You don't know your tribe.
You guys are 12 tribes.
Yeah, we are the Hebrew Israelites. We are the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
And the way you dress, that's how I want to show you dress.
Well, I'm coming from church.
No, it's not for everyone.
You have the truth.
No,
That's
I know,
right.
but it's not for
That's
everyone.
right. That's biblical, by the way. Yeah.
But it's not for everyone, my brother. It's like, even if you shout.
Because I cannot hear you.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. It's a code. It's not for him. That's a he.
Your question.
No.
Or maybe he. He doesn't look like a typical.
It's an apocrypha. It's from the
1611.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah. The apocrypha is that part of the Bible that has not been
Part that's been removed from the 18th century. They removed it out of the Bible under the Protestants, under the Roman Catholic Church.
Bro, that's good. I will say something, man.
Those are who are responsible for moving 14 books.
Mommy, do you mind being on camera? I want to show you an example.
That's fine, no problem.
Right.
That's all right.
Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Should dress.
Hold on. You see, look at this, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you zoom, brother?
Yeah.
You see that sister, yeah? Yeah, obviously that's a mommy.
Okay.
You see, that's when you dress, she doesn't look like these women that are dressing to please.
That's right.
You see? And the way she's dressed right now,
But she is dressing for
that's how our women supposed to, the Bible says, can someone get 1 Timothy 2 and 9?
Listen to this.
Because our women need to understand, if you're waiting, I don't know what you're waiting for, you're going to have to be humble, man. She's a humble person, I don't know her, but through her dressing, I'll assume that she has a humble spirit.
right.
You see her hair? You have to be humble before the power that is Yahweh, man. And you women that don't want to be humble, the most are going to do something bad to you, man.
Humble them.
It's going to humble you, man.
Them one way or the other.
All right?
He's got that.
I've got it.
So,
Listen to
is
this.
it King James Version? Or
Yeah. Oh, we all deal with the King James Version
Yeah,
because
okay.
the NIV and the NLT, which is a New Living Translation and a New International Version, they've been tampered with because through slavery, what they had to do is when they were reading the Bible to their slaves, it had to say certain things to make them say, okay, it's in the Bible. Like if you go to NIV, it says, "Slave, obey your masters."
Yeah.
Now in the King James, it says, "Servant, obey your masters."
that's true.
Right. So the difference, because you have to remember, there's a difference between a slave and a servant.
Yeah, that's
A slave is like forced to work.
Yeah.
A servant now would work with favour. There's the difference, yeah? And they receive payment. And like when you go into Colossians 3:22, which is what they've changed in NIV, it says servant, it says in the NIV it says slaves obey your masters. But when you go in, and then when you go to the next verse 4 and 1, it says masters give what's right unto your slaves.
They never
Now we
read that.
know that's in
No, that's a slave.
right.
It's
So
not right.
that's what's showing you that where the slave shouldn't be there, because a master would never give what's just and equal to a slave.
And
That's impossible.
also, the term slave actually is not, it's like a worker. So it's like in
That's
West
why they
Africa.
use it in that. That's why they use
Exactly.
it in that.
They're just, it's wording.
Twisted it.
Like for example, in West Africa, you got people, families like, they will give you the child. Yeah? And the child will come and be part of the family.
Yeah, like that.
But she will go like and do certain thing, like for the cooking and shows that. She's not a slave, that's our sister. But she does certain things, so you call her a slave, but actually she's a humble servant.
Yeah.
So we come from that lineage, like you got the king, right? And you got a servant. So we never saw it. And also, the worker, he worked 7 years, and the 7 years, he's released if you want to go, and then we give him a portion so he can start his own business, and the cycle continues. So they use the wording the wrong way to manipulate us.
That's right.
That's what they did.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why-
and it's good to, and the thing is, it's good to read different versions of the Bible.
No,
And
no,
then
it-
I know. I don't read different
see,
versions of the Bible. That's it. Six King James
No,
version.
no, see the thing is, right,
Yeah.
if you read different versions,
Yeah.
it's only to show the inconsistency, not to learn from. Because when you read, what will happen is, they can lead you a different way. And this is where you have to be careful about versions you read.
Oh, yeah.
This is why you should stick to the 1611.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that. That is the King James version, should I say. You can't go wrong with that version.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I
the
love
best
the first-
version.
I love
Because
the first Christians use it as
even
well.
scholars have said as well, even scholars, they've said that's the best interpretation that you'll get. Like, if you compare all the other, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's why if you don't know the King James version, you get mixed up. That's why I look at this text, that text, and some of them don't have what the King James version have. It's true, yeah.
So I want to bring out a precept for what you said for edification purpose. So your other can't mention that if the women are not dressed appropriately.
But that's what we're going, so you can bring that. You have to edify the sister as well.
Yes.
The sister that I watch, that's why I'm doing it like that.
Yes.
Because you have to be humble, man. I don't want no sister. That's what me, the body women stay away from me because I don't like the energy.
That's right.
When you wear this thing, it gets me to my nerve. Right now, yeah, I'd rather be on my own. If a woman gonna come with me, I just say, I'm not alone. If you're gonna come with me, you're gonna mess with me in this world, you gotta, from the minute I met you, you gotta be dressed like that. You gotta be in the truth already. I'm not changing you. I don't wanna change you. I'm not interested in changing you. You're gonna have to be in the truth. Yeah. Look at the mama, look at the dress. Look, now when you look at fashion-wise, you know, you might say, oh, she's not all swag. We don't care about swagger. But swagger didn't bring us nothing.
It hasn't done
All
nothing
right?
for us. No.
We want to be
All it's
humble
done
in front of
is
our
produce
power.
lust.
Right,
That's
lust.
what it's done.
We want a woman like that. That's humble.
That's how God wants us to be. He wants us to be modest.
Exactly.
Which is I'm going to read after.
Exactly.
He wants a modesty.
Yeah. Don't worry,
That's
we're
what
going to
it's
bring
all
that. You're going to hear
about.
it after the brother brings out his.
Bring that, my brother.
Yeah, so this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, and verse 16. Moreover, the Lord, Yahweh, saith,
Very beautiful precept.
because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks, wanton eyes, walking and mincing as
Especially
they
when the
go.
sun's out.
If you see how it done, man.
And you know it says wanted eye, wanted eye. So it's you're never satisfied.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what they're showing you. You always, whatever you have, you always want more. You can never have enough.
And they're very envious, these women are very envious.
That's right.
The reason why they would cheat on their men because their friend have another boyfriend that they're married. Like, oh, you gonna shoot someone? And they start thinking out, I need to get me someone as well. Just because, so when your woman follows certain women, you need to be careful because they are influenced by these women. That's a fact. That's how women are. Carry on, my brother.
And making a tinkling with their feet.
Right.
Verse 17.
Because they used to have like the
ankle
bells and when they moved, like, everyone knew that. But that was part of it. The Eve is bad, man. Eve is bad. Eve is bad.
Verse 17. Therefore the Lord Yahweh will smite with a scalp the crown of the head of the
That
daughter
crown,
of
this is
Zion.
gone now.
That's the reason why
It's still there though, imagine that. They
Where was
got their
I?
hair, it's still crown.
I was at somewhere the other day and someone smelled like air burning. Well, it's not mine, but mine cost me £500.
That's a shame, bro. Shame on you,
And the
women.
crowd, I know,
Shame on you.
proud to
Exactly, they're
even
still
say
proud,
that.
they're still proud.
Yeah, they're proud to even
But she
say
was
they're
lying for
going
some
to
couple girls that was behind me. The way they looked at her as if to say, your hair don't cost me £500.
Exactly, you lying. You cheap hair.
Her hair doesn't look like it cost no £500.
When you finish, hold on, when you finish, go jump to 24 and 25.
Yeah.
Jump to 24 and 25.
All right.
After that, you're gonna read.
I was going to describe the clothes. but I
Yeah,
just-
No. Hey,
Do it.
do your thing. Do your thing.
Right. Verse 18. In that day, the Lord Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords.
That's his face being hidden again.
Yeah.
Every time Yahweh hide his face, it's dangerous.
Edit. Not a good look.
It's not a good look.
And their round tires like the moon. Verse 19. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnet.
This is why they're always making up their self the way, because it's in our spirit really to be that way, and you're trying to get back to that state there. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. You can't force it. You can't force it.
And he was trying to force it. It's not working. Okay? It's not working.
And the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets.
And the hair that they got now, the way they do it, like it kind of make it look like it's their hair now. You know what I'm saying? The way they do it. Yeah, they improve. Yeah, glue. Or tie, so
Man said glue.
I've seen and the tablets and the earrings, the rings.
it's like one time, Slacker, I was outside Iceland there, and one Edomite woman goes like, there's an Eve, she had the hair must have come down to about here. So she goes to her door, oh look how that girl's hair is nice and long. I said, that's not hers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They weren't hers.
That's not her, man. It's gold.
And those jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crispin pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. So now we get to verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and
Or
instead
their pants.
But some of them, boy, sometimes, man, I think. Let's go.
exactly right. And instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and
That's
instead
why
of
you use the glue, the soul. Yeah. And then when the head's itching, you can tell when the head's itching.
Yeah, see them slapping their head, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They know when they do the.
Alright, brothers.
Alright, sis, take it easy. Have a good day.
and instead of a stomacher,
Well, we're going to use that. We're going to use her. We're going to edify the sister. We're going to talk us down. All of that is part of the purification. All right? Let's go. Now I know what it's doing, man. But these women, you need to come. I mean, I don't understand these women. Where are they? I'm still single. I want to do it. It don't make sense. Come on, we want more so we can have it. Because we need to be under our authority. You understand that? You cannot make it on your own out here. We're going to show you that. Carry on, brother.
and instead of a stomacher,
Carry on.
and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Right, now, 25.
Verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword.
A lot of men will die, man. Because Vanessa already doing the work. So I give you maybe 1 year, 2 years, you will see a lot of death. Because when you start now, you kick him now. You will start, killing, the men and that. A lot of them will die, man.
This is why they're pushing that program that you have to have everybody done by a certain period.
Right. But they already know. How long. Dropping. That's what some doctors came out and said, yo, don't be fooled. It might not happen now, but this thing gonna cause your death 1 year, 2 years. A lot of people see a lot of death.
I've heard the max. I've heard out of a lot of doctors' mouth said the max is 3 years, man. So the longest you've got, and long way is basically going to go on for another 3 years.
1 year, like, a lot happens in 1 year.
Right.
No, 2 years, a lot happens.
Now imagine now, next year, 3 years, if we still, if Lord, we were still around, you know what I'm saying? Now, read this one.
Yeah, this is Numbers 31
And then
and
you go
17.
read those.
Now therefore kill every male among the little ones,
Right.
and kill every woman that have known a man by lying with
So
him.
Esau's in that spirit again. And I lick off the building.
That's Yahweh that's bringing the spirit on the avenger of death. But no one knows how to kill than Esau. No one.
Well, that's his sword, isn't it?
But all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves.
So and the most I will keep a lot of these like 14 or 15-year-old women, you know, they will come in the fold as well. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep them as daughters, you know, spiritual daughters, and with a mom as well. Because there's a lot of women that will be the truth. The most I will have mercy. The most I will have mercy on them. You know what I'm saying? The most I will have mercy on them, man. So this serious thing that's coming. But you women are going to have to, now you're going to have to dress like that by force. You could have just started like that.
When all hell breaks loose, you know, and the sun's out, they're gonna be walking around like that.
You see that woman? You see that woman? You see that woman? The way she is. That's how a lot of these women that we see, they're beautiful, and they look so beautiful. That day they're gonna look like this one. She's humble.
Yeah, that's right.
Because when you're natural in this kingdom, look, that's look like a riffraff. When you're natural,
Exactly.
you always have to pull some fake thing in you. She's a beautiful sister. I'm just saying, like, the glitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the Eve playing magic is showing you something like, you're like, wow, what is this? You know? Illusion, man.
Optical illusion.
So that's how the most I want our women to be. They need to come and be humble, man. Because if you don't want to be humble right now, we got 10 things to say. You Eves, man. You black women, I love you. I'm not against you. But come on, man. Do better, man. It's like something you're our own enemies. Everywhere we go in all walk of life, you hate us more. You talk to Esau the right way, but when it comes to us, you don't respect us, man.
Right.
You only respect the one that go the other way. Or you respect the one that are better, the better male. You love the better male. These are the ones that you marry.
That's right.
And I was a better man at some point, but I went and married some. I don't know. Sometimes I look back, I'm like, how did I get myself in this situation? You know what I mean?
Perfect example of that is last week when we had a sister come up the camp. At this time she wasn't as humble as she's been before she came up.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking out about her attire. And then she crossed the road straight away and she was hand in hand hugging Esau.
Is she not an agent? I don't trust this woman, man. They're working for Esau, man. That's why when if the woman pull up in you can have her. If the woman come here, even if she look like the one that I saw last time, you can have her, man. Bashak, you can have her. I'm not having her, bro. I'm not having her. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's carry on. That was that. Let's read now. Read that now. Read this word and let's move. This guy, read it.
And this is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. And it reads, in like manner also, that the woman adorn themselves in modest apparel.
That's what we show. That's how the women should dress. Alright? Stop fooling us with this. We're not impressed by that anymore, man. It's only them chick on drugs and on pills and you know, plugged up to the matrix that you got to seduce. You ain't seducing her. Hey, even if you might have a woman in the world, but she gonna have a humble spirit about her, man. She gonna have a. I'm not saying that all the women that are in the world. Some women that are in the world, they have that humble spirit. And you know, it's like you look at them, so you're like, I can do something with them. But these hooligans, these Wolverine that are walking around, what we gonna do with them? What we gonna do with them? No, let's be serious. We can take them if they want to, but what we gonna do with these Wolverine that are working about to give us headache and
The most is, you know, there's 2 examples.
You said Wolverine.
Yeah, and 2 of them, not even 1, 2.
Clothes go by.
Where the two or more witnesses.
Come on, carry on now.
Yeah. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9 from the top. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
It's just funny, exactly. Go on, say it.
You look at the other nations, and then you look at Eve.
You have the same spirit. I can't believe it. That's what I want to say. You say it. I want to say what you say about. You just that's the most like that. You see how the most I work? Every time we do the spirit, it will make manifest something that we're talking about. See, that's still like I get. Can we blame them? We can't blame them.
Scripture says that if we put any of them, they would have hearkened by
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm not something you don't read. But I want to say this before you read it. That's why the Most High gave that Ethiopian woman to the east to because them women, even look at Miriam that is a prophetess. Look what she had to say about the humble woman. That woman wasn't walking up like you, Miriam. You and your daughters and your friend them. Giving headache to my shop, man. Look, let's see how they were. I'm telling you, they were the instigators. There will be a night sleeping. When they're sleeping with you, they'll be like, oh, you better go back to this. You better tough. You better go back to the food. I'm tired of this. I can't be this. Wake up. And after she said that, she give him that good thing. When you wake up, he get up. You don't call it the praise. He said, why Moses is up there? We have to find our ways. But it seems that he will never come back. Because the women give him the wrong way of the wrong thought pattern. You know what I'm saying? So Yahweh saw that, was like, I'm not giving my servant these wicked women. I'm gonna give him a heathen, but she's humble. That's why Jake sometimes goes to eat. Listen, I've realized, Esau, when he see you, listen, I've seen something in a few days, bro. But her energy, they love it. They want to be with her because they know we're the kings. Even as a woman from Armenian, she was like, black people, you're the best. You are the best. Your energy, we want to be around us. We want to be around you, though. So if black women don't want you, we want you. She said, we want you. The Armenian women say that. She said, we want you. All right, and that's what when they're sitting down and they talk, that's what they talk about. Because you eat, you got the best thing. But yet, you don't like it. I don't understand that. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? So even Esau, she respects us better. That's why a lot of the men, when they got money, they go to Esau. Because I bet you, if you go with somebody to eat, they're going to destroy you. Obviously, Esau going to destroy you, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Because he hurt more when he's your own people.
And I can say as well, it's the main 3 tribes, Judah, and Levi. That's right. And it just goes to show, because it shows he's bringing out how the Most High smite them with a slap on the head. And the northern tribe, they haven't really suffered from that curse.
No.
Because they wasn't in the land at that time, keeping up all that wickedness, man.
Yeah, that's why they're very good. One thing about them.
Their household are big more together than
They're ruler because the guy in front that is about to start a camp, he's Dominican, he's Simeon. And he said, that's what I'm very laughing like, the women, they rule her household. But the way she does it, is like, she will give you the best food. She will give you the best thing. She will give you rest. So now when you wanna go out, she wanna go and she touch you like that, she say, going out today?
So no?
You don't wanna spend time with you like that. After she start rolling. Man, you can say, bro, I can't come today, Because wife is like, working now, I don't know, man. Let's take our time. And then when she gets you nice sleep, out of body experience and all of that. Time traveling. When you come back, you don't want nothing to do with it. No, I never been this. I never been to know nothing. But if I you get what I'm saying? So they know how to really take care of the man. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you give you a headache, man, her energy alone, you wake up tired.
And you imagine that. You wake up tired and you ain't done nothing, but you're tired.
No, sometimes they're on phone gossiping about everything and anything. And you're like, is that necessary?
But I'm just saying, have you ever heard an Israelite woman's conversation on the phone? When are they not talking about something?
Exactly, when?
I've never heard a woman conversation on the phone, they're not talking about
These women are simple, man. That's the problem, that they don't know nothing and they don't want us to teach them. They think they know it all. So me, I have to make my mind up. I say, maybe if Paul, I'll ride with Paul, man. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not gonna if a woman is not the truth, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not gonna go with her. I work on that already. Now, some women, they're in the work, but when they are, I might maybe fall like a little, you know. I don't know. I pray that I don't fall. But my mind is made up. I'll be on my own until I meet that woman. But I can't spend the day with them. Because the energy is too wrong, my brother.
Can I just add here, the bare minimum, because some women are not fully in the truth yet. They're coming into the
We're
truth.
not asking for much.
Well, the bare minimum is meekness, humbleness.
Right.
If you're not meek, if you're not humble,
Forget about it.
and that's a unanimous
Think
one.
about it, A woman, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like you say as well, man. It's not much they're asking for. Because their role really is simple, man.
Simple.
But in this place, it's a lot.
Calm.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but
But it's a lot in this place.
That's like I rang up and they brought up with 1 ton ice and they didn't want everything. And that's part of the reason why they're not making it simple for themselves.
To wear some traffic fringes and to cook, look, you can even go to work. You can earn more than me. Because sometimes you earn more than me in this kingdom. But you understand why you're earning more than me. When I'm having a conversation with you, but you're humble at home though. For the northern kingdom, they're humble at home.
That's right.
They're making the money, but they come home, they have to cook, they prepare, they work hard for the but they understand that the husband has to be, you know, and that's where the blessing comes from. Because they take of the husband, now they find, favor in the eyes of Esau out there. So it works both ways. We're not asking, we're not stupid. I'm not saying stay home, don't do nothing. Go and earn. We're in Babylon.
But that's where the problem starts, man. If they're seeing they're earning more than you, they got their own place.
Exactly.
They're like, why am I going to listen to this man for? Why am I going to listen to this man? He can't do nothing for me.
So it would take a special, what you say is true. So we take a woman that is supposed to be in the truth to really understand. That's why, like, there's a girl that I teach. She knows the truth. She came to the truth before me. 4 years in the truth. I haven't been 4 years yet, but I've grown more. I started in February 2019. I knew I was in. But that's not being in the truth.
Yeah, that's the point I was That's the point I was trying to make earlier. Yes, right.
Just because you know you're Hebrew doesn't mean that you're in the truth. Because you've been having sex with other people's wives. You've been doing it. You've been a nigga. How are you in the truth? You come in the truth when you start to make that step. So I made that step.
Blood off your hands.
Yeah, February 2019. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, just like the Most High put the Spirit on me to do whatever He want to do. That's why I don't glorify myself, That's right. So I know where I come from. Yeah, that's clear. But she been in the truth before me. But her now, it's not difficult. She wants you have to remind her to wear a fringe. You have to remind her to keep this about. She is part of her. So if the woman and I were living in the lane here, she will not be my wife. Of course she will not be my wife. Because this is what I want. And I know you ain't going to be talking it. I'm not going to
And I hope you're watching this.
I'm not going to be keeping you Sabbath. Yeah, I know you. No, she speaks English on top of that. She speaks French before she speaks English. Okay. So she's probably watching. Right? So if she comes, she will be my wife. Why? Because she understands, what it is. When I have discussion with her, if I can talk about Abba Bevan, bro, she knows about Abba Bevan. She knows that breakdown.
That's right.
She only thing she's bucking up against, now she got it. The lunar Sabbath.
Okay.
Because when she came up on the, she was in front because she's kind of speaking English, she could just get, a bit, so she kind of go and learn, do everything and all of that. She kind of understand it. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where I am right now. That's what we should be. Because we're going to give you our time, man. We're too precious for you. How come I'm being purified? You're not being purified, but you want some of the purification. It don't make sense. Go and get purified yourself. And wear the fringes. Be shame. Walk by you know, go to your cousin there and you wearing fringes and things, and let them laugh at you. Just like they laugh at me because I'm in the truth.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's too simple. These people come, they will see you and you preach. Then they love the glow, but they don't want to be part of the pain that it takes to get the glow.
That's what I'm saying. Like all these women say, oh, you know, I want Prince Charming, you know, I want Mr. Right and that, but they don't want to do
they're not
nothing.
right
They
themselves.
don't want to make no changes themselves.
Listen,
or
you
do
gonna love me.
anything. They figure
Whether
out to
I
do
got a
nothing.
tooth missing, you gonna love me, my brother. You gonna love my smile. You gonna love me. I'm telling you, you gonna love me. I'm missing tooth. You gonna love me for the way I am. You gonna let whether you don't like it. It's gonna be like because you decided, right, to be with me and you respect me like the head. All right. So all these women that don't like it because I have a missing tooth, good on you. In that day when you come, I have a spiritual like you're wicked and I'm not. Then that day, then the table will turn. Because then that day you might need me. Hopefully, y'all are decide if I'm part of the election.
Even
You know what I'm saying?
Even all these trials we go through with these women, man, that's part of our purification.
That's right.
Yes, right.
It's part of that.
But because sometimes the reason the most I think they will say the women, they ain't, you see, they ain't gonna get to, if you're, as long as you use women, you never flow in the truth like you flow like that. So if I bring a woman that's in the world, but maybe that's really stop you from flowing in the truth.
There's an example in I think it's your Razakar where he loved her with the other
Oh yeah,
wife.
bring that. Ezekiel 24.
Ezekiel 24.
Yeah, bring that. We gonna today.
Because it's basically spot on what you're saying.
It's part of purification, so we can talk about that. That's what the Most High. There's a reason why these women manifesting. Ezekiel 24 and I don't know where. Let me check it.
I might have it.
Ezekiel 24.
Even when you say that, if I can just say, man, the most High manifests us to speak about what you say because you know, like, that's his mercy, you know, and it's just the last chances to get, it's the last chances for him, man, to really get this
Yeah,
right,
16.
you know.
Start
A lot of women
15.
are gonna die out here, man.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's why it says, what does it say? And when us know the man by lying, get the little ones.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't repent.
But a lot of them won't repent. A lot of them.
There you go.
Yes.
That's why
But the 1/3, there'll be a lot of women in the 1/3. A lot of them will die, man. A lot of children as well. A lot of younger, like 14, 15, 16,
Because a lot of
17.
children, Israelite women, they're suffering, you know, they haven't got food. Some Israelite children, man. So they're going to get saved, man.
So like you said, a lot of those young ones and the girls, they're talking that day, man.
Exactly, and that's what
It won't be difficult for them to do more. Yeah, read that.
This is
15.
yeah, Ezekiel chapter 24 and verse 15. And it reads, also the word of Yahweh came unto me saying, verse 16, Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke.
What's that playing, man? Carry on.
With a stroke. Yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep,
That's mad.
neither shall thy tears run down.
Yeah, but look, I lost my wife and I can't mourn. That's how. Well, you know why? Because Ezekiel, he loved the woman too much. He was doing the truth, but she was giving him the good stroke. The most I gave him. You see, and I know. You know how I know that to the spirit? Because she was stroking him good. Yahweh gave us stroke. Yahweh is
That's
bad.
right.
You know, where, you know, if you want to be funny, because you gotta have a bit of fun, you can't be too serious. Bit of humor, right? But my point is this. Because he loved her, right? Too much to the point where he was kind of like, you know, yeah, so it's like, no, if this woman not good.
And it's all about the word.
Yes, Yahweh got jealous, man. Like one thing about the relationship between Yahweh and Yahweh was serious. But he was the first sign unto Israel, like as far as prophet was the first sign. But he's the one that say, okay, you sleep like that, you eat that, just that represent whatever Israel's gonna go through in the future, man. So sometimes the woman, sometimes Yahweh, in that case, it was him loving her too much. But in that case, or in different cases when the woman is not good for you, so he removes her from you. Because her energy won't allow you to do the truth like you're supposed to do it. So you remove her. That's why the Most High work, man. That's why we cannot sit down with these two fellas and have conversation about something, because the way they see it is not how the Most High see it. They'll be like, oh, why did you leave your, why did you leave your, why did you do this? No, it's not me. It's the Hawa. You think that. Right now as we speak, I know his sister, you know what happened? She live in the same yard of the husband, but her husband live in the room and she live in the other room. Basically not together, but for the children, they live together. But the Most High is doing, because her, she loves the Hawa, but the man, he want to be Jake. So Yahweh said, okay, I'm going to take your beauty. She's a beautiful woman as well. Beautiful, beautiful woman, humble, she cook for him, she does this for him. But because she loved the Most High, and he doesn't want to know the truth, because she gave him my number to call me, but he don't want to know about it. So if I go for, I'm the mouthpiece of Yahweh. I don't want to be, I just want to tell you about your bro. This.
Step up.
You know, step up, because you got a beautiful woman, man. She's one of those women, bro. If you got a woman like that, you wouldn't want to leave her, man. She's humble, she's beautiful, and she loves Yahweh. Come on, man. How many women do you not love Yahweh like that? You know what I'm saying? So now he said, okay, I'm going to put you on house arrest. You're going to be over there, and she's going to be over there. That's what Yahweh is doing right now. So we have no choice but to be, let's accept our purification, man. So the Most High can fight for us in that time. So he can have mercy on us in that time. Of course you can have that. Yeah, it's the, you want to come here? Well, my books is
back in the day, before Word of the Top, the main book, which was like way back in the day, just translated to the Hebrew version and Greek version.
No. So what it is basically, the book, right, the Torah, it was Hebrew, right? All in Hebrew. The Most High put the spirit on them, we read that last time. The Most High put the spirit on the prophets. He inspired them and then wrote them. Why he inspired? Because what's happening today as far as the Vanessa, I don't want to say the name, but the poison, the JB, is in the Bible. The confinement, everything that's our slavery is in the Bible. So that means that is true. So that means whoever wrote that was inspired by the higher power who knows it all. But he was in Hebrew, I'm coming, he was in Hebrew, right? Then our people went into the Greek captivity. And in the Greek captivity, they're translating themselves. They're translating the book in Greek. You understand that? So now what happens is now, when they come in Europe, because in case you don't know, our people during the Dark Ages ruled in this country. Alright? So they understood, a lot of them spoke Greek, Paul spoke Greek. Right? But our people know a lot of languages, man. You don't find out that a lot of languages, we were the initiator this language. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go into that. But then King James, which is the last black king of England, Scotland and Ireland, all right, what he does before he's killed, he gathers how many?
48.
Can you break that down for him, that part, and then carry on?
Yeah, what he did, King James, he got 47 of the best, not any and anybody, the best Hebrew and Greek scholars. What
And
he
when he say Hebrew and Greek scholar, you have to understand that the Greek were the Hebrew Israelites. And that's what he means. King James.
And what he did, he had them split into groups. This is how he did it. So he had a group translate the Hebrew, which was the Old Testament, including the Torah, the first 5 books, into what you can read today. And then he had the other set, another set, translate the Apocrypha. Because not every, that's the That's the 14 books that was removed. He had that translated, because that was in Hebrew also. So that's part of the Old Testament, which is what the church don't acknowledge. But it's definitely part of the Old Testament.
Right.
You know?
When you say the church,
Like the Christian
Modern church
the
today.
modern Christian church today. They don't acknowledge them.
But most of the Bibles them that you get today ain't got that in there.
That's right.
Like when I grew up, that wasn't in there.
Yeah. So I mean, like even me, like the Brock said, I never knew nothing about the Apocrypha until I came into the truth. I never knew that book existed, let alone anything else, you know. Right. So anyway, so he got a group to do that, yeah, and then he got another group to translate the Greek, which they say was the New Testament, yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah. Yeah, so he like from Matthew to Revelation.
I mean, you see the Ethiopia, the Bible they have, right? Yeah. Their version is also translated from something which your book was translated.
Okay,
right?
so
I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
So you have two versions. From that book came two versions. The ones Ethiopians follow and the ones you're following.
All right. You know why?
So
you know why? You don't talk about it. I just want to make it clear. You know why? Because the Ethiopian, that book, that Bible, that Ethiopian Bible, happened in the church. In the Jehovah called it like the Bela church. Basically, it's like the form of the cross, but it's like it was digged up, digged in like the earth, right? So it was like underground type of thing. I don't know how they do that. But that's like the same way we don't know how they do the pyramid. So they have the technology, I really whatever. But it's our people, when they left Jerusalem, they went into hiding in them lands. Ethiopia is one of them. So a group of our people went there and they influenced society over there. And obviously they had children with them Ethiopia, they stayed there for a while. Obviously up this day you got some of people there. They look like Ethiopian, but they're actually Hebrew Israelites. But then these people, the forefathers that run into that first place, they're now translated, right? The original, the Torah, into Ethiopian language.
No, because they got translated. They said the original book, where you got your book from, translated it to Greek, and that's why we took it back and the Hebrew one, they said it's your book, right? The Greek one is the one that said Ethiopian. And that's it.
Well, it's the same thing. So you come back again, understanding. Understanding.
I'm going to explain to you, but I need you to allow me to explain. So first off, the Bible was written in what is known as Paleo-Hebrew. It's also known as Proto-Canaan. It's also known as Proto-Phoenician. So all the people that were living in what we call Israel now were speaking the same language and using the same writing system. Right? So remember, you had Hebrew Israelites living there and you had Hamites living there. They were writing with the same writing system. That's point one. Point two, when the area got conquered under Alexander the Great, and then he died and his 4 generals took over all of the region. Ptolemy took over Egypt. So Ptolemy, he ordered the Hebrew Israelites to translate the scriptures into Greek so that he would have a copy in his Alexandrian library. And the Hebrew Israelites translated the Paleo-Hebrew into Greek. That's where the Septuagint, let me finish. That's why I asked you, let me finish.
Why you talk to one Bible? I don't understand that, brother. What's
Because he
that?
said something in the
Hang on,
beginning.
now let him finish.
That it was the Bible.
All right. So I just use, all right, brother. I just use a common word that we all understand. So I will accept what you just said and use that term, Hathawara, which means the instruction. Right? The Bible just means the books. We call it the scrolls because they were wrapped up in scrolls. The books just means libraries or a collection of books. Right? It really means the same thing, really. Right? But however, the Septuagint was written by our people, and then the Greeks now had an authentic copy of our writings. Now getting to the Ethiopians now through the Spirit, what I can say, is, when the Queen of Sheba came, because the Ethiopians had a custom of having queens rather than kings, so the Queen of Sheba came to pay homage to Solomon, and the scriptures validate that she brought loads of tributary and gold and diamonds and all different things. And our question was, well, what did Solomon give her? And the answer is Solomon gave her wisdom. And what is the wisdom? Not the Lord statutes and commandments. Right, so therefore, through the Spirit, Solomon gave her the scriptures, which is the wisdom, written in a language that she could understand. Because Solomon was the wisest man on the planet Earth. So he spoke all languages. He wrote all languages. So he wrote a Bible for her, or commanded a Bible to be written for her in their language. So that's how they got that scripture. So it was written for them because he gave her wisdom. That is for them. Any Hebrew Israelite will tell you.
So when the two books was formed from this main book,
it's different time frames.
Different time frames, but
it was different time frames. Sheba, that's during the reign of King Solomon.
Yeah, that's after. That's the way later.
That's way before. Of course it is.
No, because the Greek Sheba was after Moses, right?
Yes.
So what I'm talking about is before Moses.
No, Sheba was not after Moses. Sheba was during the reign of King Solomon.
Which is after Moses.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're not saying anything.
I hear what you said, but this is very dangerous, bro.
It feels like you're like
what is very dangerous? What is dangerous? What is dangerous?
What's your?
It's only because I'm learning myself, and then I learn from people. I kind of notice some people kind of throw you off or say slightly different things, and I'm kind of clocking why. Yeah, I'm clocking why. I might not tell you what. I'm just clocking why would someone do that. Not tell you what, but to understand. Tell you different things.
Different thing about it.
It's anything. Like I can say to you, my man, say you from public city, blind. I can say, well, they're telling you dark blue. And he could run with that.
I want to ask you a question.
So I'm saying, the reason why I could do that, I could get as much from the fact,
what did we do that confirm what you just said? Did you do anything that confirm what you just said? Like, because you say that some people throw you off by saying something. What's throwing you off right now?
Say people straightforward.
Yeah. Because he's a philosophical guy.
Like, when you
I know people like that.
I know you made a mistake.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Down to that, but I was trying to tell him. It's like, if you weren't there to intervene, you might have just carried on. I'm not saying that was your intent, but with a lot of people, that might be their intent.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that was just like...
That might be an accident. That's an accident.
That's an accident.
But the thing is,
that's not a big deal.
It is, because Moses, if you're telling me the Queen Sheba, when she went to go...
He made a mistake. Obviously, we all know that Queen Sheba came in the reign. We all know that it came in the reign of who? Solomon, right?
Which is what
Masha came before. So obviously he made a mistake.
I know, it's not that, but a lot of people do things like that to give themselves time to argue.
no, I'm not arguing.
I'm not arguing all the time to debate.
Now, like, my question to you is this, yeah? What are you trying to get out of this?
That's my whole point.
This is why. Last week you said to me
Can I
that.
explain what I'm going to... I hadn't finished the
Last
question.
week, yeah.
I hadn't finished the question.
Last week you said something about being chosen, like a tribe way back when it was chosen of the word of God, and other tribes didn't get jealous, but they had to respect that one tribe was kind of chosen, right? So I just want to know, is it the Ethiopians here? They're the ones who giving the word?
No, it wasn't.
But you got some in Ethiopia.
Hey, let's go to Genesis 10.
No
You
mixing.
can talk.
Or it could have been the Hebrew Israelites who are the original Jews. Because I do know somebody who has a brother and their family does speak the original language, the Bible, the original Bible.
What language was that? Aramaic.
You know your problems.
Oh no, my brother's from the Bar tribe, yeah, and they stem from the Evid tribe. And the Evid tribe basically ran away from the Babylonian captivity.
That's right.
So they basically speak the original language.
That's right.
The original language.
The Ewe from where? From Ghana.
They're in between Nigeria.
But the Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
The Hebrew Israelite. But Babylon captivity, that was us. Just like they were captive under the Edomite, you know, the Edomite. Just like we captives in the Edomite captivity, and the Edomite, for those who don't know, is the Caucasian, the Roman captivity. We were captives, right? We were captives in Babylonian captivity. So we were speaking the original language even there, Hebrew. Too bad, now we don't even know who we are. Now we're trying to come back to it, but at that time, even in the captivity, they knew who they were, they spoke the language, they knew the God. So if the airway from that, it only makes sense.
They don't from that, they escaped.
It makes sense.
That's why they speak it.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
There's just something I just want to clarify.
They speak like Moses.
No, listen, at the end of the day, right, every man here, how many of us here speaks fluent Hebrew? Right, nobody. So we have to adhere to what we do. Oh,
There is people though.
I said, listen, you see what you're trying to do? You're trying to bring a debate. I'm trying to show you something. Wait, let me finish. The point I'm trying to make. I said, amongst us here, how many of us speak Hebrew? None of us. How many of us speak Greek? Amongst us here. Right, so we have to communicate in a language we understand. Now you knowing that this was the Lashawan Kodash, that it was written in Greek, or it was written here, or no, it's first Aramaic. How does that benefit you?
English also. You can break it down, the original alphabet. Wouldn't that be better for me?
No, because my point, hold on.
Have you been to his brother? No. Well, go what you did. Go to his brother, then come back.
Because
go
my
to his
point
brother,
is...
hold on. Go to his brother, learn from him, then come back to us.
My point is, at the end of the day, right, now you can't speak Greek, neither can I. You can't speak fluent Hebrew, neither can I.
But
you
you
know,
should be on the way to learning.
well, I am learning. Hold on. Did you hear what I said? I said fluent Hebrew. There's a difference between fluent Hebrew and a couple of words in Hebrew. This is why you need to listen to what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to...
And also, my brother, well, finish it.
Yeah. No, go on.
What I want to say, my brother, is even this guy that speak Hebrew, whatever the Hebrew that say, there's a difference between speaking a language and knowing the language. Knowing the Hebrew. Knowing the truth. Because just because he speaks the ancient Hebrew doesn't mean that he will be able to break down this spiritual book. This is something that it's an ability that is given to you to understand it.
It has to be given
And
to you.
also,
Wait.
Also, there's a prophecy. There's a prophecy in this book that it tells us that. Can someone bring that quickly? That we were going to learn this truth through a stammering language that has that a foreign language. But that's how the most I wanted it. That's the reason why he put the spirit on King James to translate that book in English.
The people before, yeah, who could speak the language. Hold on. The people before could speak the language, right? What would they do? I know you're not trying to do it.
No, we're not trying to do nothing.
It is good, but what I'm thinking is, I I hope that you are the genuine side. Because if you win, that's disappointing because Black brothers.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out, man.
We're gonna find
So
out.
like, if you find out you win, that's sad.
We're gonna find out. You keep on talking about we're gonna find out.
It's either, I might not be, but I'm trying to find out. But it's either you or the Ethiopian.
Alright, but if you're gonna push it, we're gonna get it.
He's gonna make his point. Make his point.
I gotta find out from Ethiopia.
Make
I
your
gotta
point.
find out from Ethiopia why they don't make
Ethiopian are heathen. They're heathen.
I gotta find out from them.
No.
Yo.
It is better and go home. One don't even know what's going on.
Listen to what you're saying.
When I first was speaking to you, I asked if you would allow me to make my point. You actually didn't, even though I made a mistake, and I put my hands up, Israel, Salakia, I made a mistake with a time frame. However, it's not a mistake in the point I was trying to deliver to you, which is both the Ethiopian scriptures and the Greek Septuagint was written by us. Right? So when it was whatever time frame, which if you had allowed me to make my point, then I would not have gotten confused, and I accept my mistake. But the point is, whether Sheba was it before or after, that wasn't the point. The point was, where did she get her scriptures from? She went to Solomon, and Solomon gave her wisdom, which is the scripture. Where did Alexander or Ptolemy get the scriptures from? He asked the Hebrew Israelites to decode the Paleo-Hebrew for him, and they did it. So both of those scriptures came from us. And then in regards to you, your brother is God.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what God means?
No, I don't know.
It means proud, it means lifted up.
And Yahweh hates pride. Let me just let you know that. Yahweh hates pride. Then that tries to lift themselves up above Yahweh. You can't lift yourself up above the Most High. So he hates pride. And just to what you were saying now, the point I was trying to make to you before like a bit of confusion came in. Now at the end of the day, as I was saying, none of us can speak Hebrew fluently or Greek. So what we have to do is learn from what we can speak, and rather than you worrying about what language it came from, who this that, what you should be worrying about is keeping the commandments. That's where your aim should be, not about who wrote it or who did that.
That's right.
You should be trying to live righteously in the Most High.
Who wrote the original book?
That's not the issue. And he just explained to you.
Hold on.
Hear what he do. He's gonna speak fluently. Go and learn from him.
Well, then buy a ticket, plane still I run.
See the original book? What you're talking about, the translated from that. Who wrote that original book?
Yo.
The original book? Why did it get translated?
No more entertaining. No more entertaining. No man, you're not listening.
I'm listening.
We're talking to a quick one. And you're trying more patience. You're cool. Be disappointed.
Listen, keep the commandments of the Most High God.
And live.
Keep the commandments. That's it. That's it.
Bring out that precept.
This is the book of Isaiah. You want me to start at 9 or you just go straight to 11? Alright, so this is the book of Isaiah starting at verse 9.
I'm sorry. The guy's a muscle because you explained to him exactly where the scripture comes from, and he still wants to ask. Who cares? What you need to do is keep the commandments of the Most High with the faith of Yahweh. Learn.
That's right.
Sorry. You need to learn what to do, which is right and pleasing to the Most High. That's where your passion should be, not about who wrote it, who translated, who does it.
He's gonna save you.
He's trying to prove someone wrong.
He wanna say something.
Yeah, I think he's a Muslim.
Well, make it
Because that's why they always go on about the original book.
Yeah.
You know, who wrote it? Number one just said it was us. Number one said it was us. He still don't accept it.
He can die a grievous death in Jacob trouble.
That's right.
He's a hard-headed.
He doesn't say he's a musclehead.
That's why he wants the trying of your faith. Working patience, man.
That's the
learn
first
the
kid,
laws
so
and
first
keep them to the best of your ability.
He only come back today because it looks like to boost his ego.
He was
Which didn't
trying to
happen.
pay
Exactly.
He come back again.
And it's always lose. Yeah. Now you exactly. You know them chick when you fighting first, and then when they see you, they wait for you to go into work. How you gonna find me when I'm going to work? I'm gonna be late. You know what I mean?
Sirach 19 and 24.
No, it's as much as like we love our people, we have to have patience, which we showed patience.
We exercise patience
Like
last
the
time.
brother even told him where Sheba got the scriptures from. This and that. But yet he still wants to say, but this and that. You know, at the end of the day, keep the commandments and live. With the faith of Yahweh Shai.
He's got that same spirit of brother polite. You know, like just wants to prove.
Why is polite now?
He's got no truth.
That's polite now.
Exactly.
And look what the most I did with polite. When some complaints more than that. Because the guy was like, he came to troll, you know, the GMS elders about the red thing. But what happened to him? He was in a hotel with a 15-year-old girl. You nonce.
I just say as well, man, like, you know, like last week, man, he was there for how
We
many
exercised patience last week.
That's my point. The scripture says what there? Tell him once and twice, man.
Yeah, third time reject. You know, in it, third time you reject him. Next week,
you don't listen
have to
to it.
reject him.
You think I was say, bro, now leave it. That's it.
And then this one more
for you.
All that time spent, you think about it, he's gone home. And the most time even made that seed expand. He's got in his head, next week I'm going to come back again and try to see.
But that's why we're talking about when I was breaking down the Proverb 1, how long you sick in one. I was talking about him on purpose. I knew his spirit, I knew. I was talking about him.
That's what happens when the Most High hides his face from the heart.
That's right.
And do you see the deceitfulness? When he first came up, what did he say? I've only come to listen. That was his very. Did he not say that? I've only come to listen.
Like you said, man, it's that feminine spirit, man. When you want to go, that's
Right,
right.
he's the one that let a woman cheat on you and you took her back in.
He had nothing to say for the
That's the
whole
same
2 hours
problem,
last week about no Egyptian Bible. And now he decided Ethiopian Bible. And he decided to come today with some foolishness, man.
Say what you want to say, Aki.
No, I'm saying, he was here for 2 hours last week. He didn't mention once about no Ethiopian Bible.
Exactly.
So he's gone home, tried to think of something else to prove us wrong. Where he's got no truth in himself. And it's just
The
foolishness,
scripture says
man.
that a fool have no delight in understanding, but his heart may discover itself. So that's what he's really trying to do, man. That's right, man.
Well, you know what? I don't waste my time like that again.
He's not coming again. He's had his.
You know when he hurts like that, but you know what he's saying? He say that, well, I hope you are right. How dare you? Everything we say, even why are they scoffing? When I was scoffing against us, they can't even come against because they know that.
You even said what you just said. Okay, he said he hoped what we saying is the truth. What was he reading out of?
Exactly.
And he ever dared to cheat what we were reading. What were we reading out of? What was he reading out of?
But the question
Nothing.
is, it's him that's asking us the questions. That's the thing. That's the funny thing about it. He's the one that's asking us the questions.
About the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopian Bible was written by us.
That's right.
Come on, man.
It's the book of Sirach, 19 verse 24. He that have small understanding and fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is better than one that have much wisdom and transgressive the law of the Most High.
This is why I told him, go and talk to that guy that can speak.
Yeah, go and learn.
Yeah, go and learn.
Go and speak and when. Go and speak and when.
No, I can say, in that scripture, he doesn't even have much wisdom. He doesn't have much wisdom. Anyway, let's be honest.
This is Proverbs 19 verses 29. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the backs of fools.
If the brother don't sort himself out, that's what he's got to look forward to. You come up there talking about your Ethiopian Bible, this guy who can speak through it, whatever. Go learn from them. Yeah, go learn from them. Because I ain't going to tell you what you're going to hear.
And then he tries to, and then every time he tries to, when you say something, he tries to find the flaw in what you say to emphasize on that point.
Why? So that his heart may discover itself.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we get frustrating Israel, man, because we want our people to get into this word, man.
It's not like we don't care.
It's not because we hate the brother, man.
Yeah, we do care. That's why we're passionate.
Yeah, what I would like to say is that the difference between people that are in the truth and rehearsing the righteous acts, I mean, we're practicing it, where we will always admit we're not 100% correct all the time, right? The difference is we are willing to admit when we are wrong, and we are willing to take correction. Can the same be said for other people? Because I actually took correction from the guy when I realized he was correct. But could he take correction? No, he couldn't. Because he's got a spirit of rebellion on him.
He's puffed up.
Yeah.
He thinks he knows
And
everything.
it's funny because his friend's brother's tribal name is the spirit he's got on him, which is God. That's why they call Goliath, God. Because they're proud and they're lifted up and they exalt themselves above the clouds. Right? Nobody's greater than Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Nobody's greater than
African
Yahweh.
are very proud.
Yeah.
Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they hate pride. And you stay there and call yourself proud and pride, thinking that's going to get you somewhere.
So, we're wrapping up, yeah? So, right, so this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 1. And it reads, yes? And it reads, the preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh. And I'll precept that with Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord Yahweh directeth his steps. And I'll precept that again in Proverbs 20 and 24. And it reads, man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? And I'll precept that again with Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord
Yahweh.
Beautiful. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Come on. This is Ecclesiasticus.
That's another example of the Most High hiding.
That's right. God. That's so much.
Lord have mercy.
That's rope. It's like rope, isn't it?
Benjamin ain't in there.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 19. The works of all flesh are before him,
That's right.
and nothing can be hid from his eyes.
That guy needs to be very careful, man.
Yeah, you need to be very
He
careful.
needs to start
The most I go,
He's marking himself.
the most I go, deal with him seriously. They don't know who Yahweh is. They keep on playing. Look what happened to the
Playing games,
Asian.
man. You think it's a
Look what
joke?
is happening to the Asian man. Stuck somewhere in Mexico. No one is helping him.
Yeah, man.
Went through hell. Many people think it's a joke. When they turn up the heat on this guy, him and his brother, they'll remember us, man. They'll
Bible
remember us
don't say it's a fearful thing.
for nothing.
Yeah, full of the hand and the little power. Don't say that for nothing. Yeah, but our people want to wait till they actually fall into the hands and really find out what it actually means. Yeah. I tell you, it's a madness when the Most High hides his face. That's why we have to be grateful that he's actually opened our eyes. He actually chose us to give us the understanding. Because none of us weren't going through this foolishness when I didn't go through all of that when I heard this truth. Straight away it was like, wow, everything just opened up and made sense. I'm not getting back. The only questions I was asking is trying to straighten up some of the Christianity understanding that I learned. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I'm right flipping, so what about the Ethiopian Bible? Isn't it?
You might be a Ethiopian, you might be a Hammer. You never know. You never know. Because this thing ain't what you look like.
That's right.
It's not always what you look like.
That's right.
The Lord said the end of it.
Yeah, he said,
Pretty straight,
It's even
very
stiff neck.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, as you know what time it is, Israel, it's about that time, which is my time, in case you missed it. Anyway, first and foremost, I'm going to read Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1 first. This is just fitting for just what happened a little earlier. And it reads, Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not from me.
Yeah, from the flipping Ethiopians.
Exactly.
The Cushite.
Yeah.
Must be out of your goddamn mind. I don't know why people love them. But the Ethiopians, what they do is, what they do.
All the last colonial countries.
Don't worry about it, brother. Not
And continuation of Isaiah verse 30 and 1. Yeah. I'll take it from the top again. Yeah?
Top
Alright, from the top again. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not from me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Yes, he's going to continue to hide his face from you.
That's
whilst you want to cover yourself with some strange apparel, man.
That's right.
And this is what you do by doing that. That may add sin to sin.
That's right. That's right. And
Okay.
most I don't like sin at all. That's what separates us from him. And that's what hides his face from us, hides his goodness from us, hides everything from us.
Okay, and then
read this. This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. There's in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
That's right.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil.
I don't think you know everything. That's what I'm showing you. Be not wise in thine own eyes, because you don't know everything. Yeah? Turn to the scriptures if you want to learn.
That's right. It's not difficult, man. Just be obedient. That's right.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
Once you can read and you have...
Love it to be rocket science.
Yeah.
They don't say, boy, I really try now, but we couldn't pick the cylinder in the wall.
Yeah, it is. You know?
Annoying. These guys are annoying.
Okay, and this is, we're going to end now with Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Now this is the conclusion of the whole matter.
And you can't even grasp this, you know.
No, he wouldn't. And this is the conclusion of the whole matter. For all that we've brought out today and in the past, and if we're still here to...
They're going to be slain by God's sword.
That's right.
Alright, go word.
Okay, from the top again, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13, and it reads, Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Every Israelite man, woman and child of the stock of Jacob, which his name was changed to Israel.
That's right. The stock of Ethiopia. That's right.
That's right. Verse 14.
That's right.
For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So as I always say, you may be doing things behind your brother's back secretly. He may not know, but the Most High will know, and you will pay for it, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Bear that in mind.
And nothing goes amiss, man. The Bible says, Galatians 6 and 7, do not be deceived, the Most High is not mocked.
It's not mocked.
Yeah? That was a bit of mocking there. Yeah? The mocking comes in different forms. You know what I'm saying? People ain't always, you know, can be subtle. That's just subtle mocking, man. That simpleness spirit. Anyway, as usual, with that, you know, we won't praise this to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rakah, Kodash.
Put death to Babylon.
Most definitely. And also, we out.
That's right.
And we back. That's right. Next week we back again.